Hello friends, this is Shelley from Co-Elements and Knacks. Thank you so much for joining me. In this tutorial, we are going to make this beautiful reversible beanie with a removable jumbo pom-pom. I'm excited about this pom-pom because we were in the States this past week and I bought a 4.5-inch diameter pom-pom maker. And this is the first time I'm going to use it in this video, and I loved how it turned out. It's so much fun. You're going to want to get yourself one. I'm also using my 46 needle Addi, and I chose to use, I love this yarn in the color Dark Country Blue and Galaxy Gazing. Those are the two colors that I chose to use. So once you have your supplies ready, we're going to get right on this beautiful beanie. It doesn't take too long to make, but it's very pretty. Now, if you don't want to roll up that brim, you can just leave it long and you'll have a long slouchy beanie, striped on one side, solid on the other. So you have some options with this particular beanie, and because the pom-pom's removable, you can also wear it without. So I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you so much for joining me again, and please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Once you have your supplies, let's get started. We are going to start. I'm going to take my solid color, the Dark Country Blue. Oh, this is such a beautiful color. We're going to bring our last white and our first black needle in line with our yarn guide. And we're going to cast on with the drawstring cast on. Let's go in front of that first black, behind the next, in front and behind, in front and behind. Friends, make sure when you're doing this round that you let that yarn just slip through your fingers. You want it to be loosely cast on, because there's no weight from your project yet to pull your yarn down over these red loops as you do the next round. And so if it's cast on a little bit loose here, you'll have an easier time with that. We're going to open our latch, pop that in there, change our row counter to 0. Make sure there's some slack coming out of your ball. We're going to go quite slowly for this first round, making sure those loops drop down over the red teeth. This is row 1. Our machines love this yarn, so we're not going to have any problems, I am perceiving. This is 2. I'm going to do 5 rows of this color. And make sure it comes out of the ball. I'm just getting some slack there. This is 3. 4. And one more is 5. Now I take a black permanent marker and I mark that red divider between the last white and the first black, so I always see when the end of my row is coming around. We're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut just a little bit of a tail. You don't need much. We're going to pop that into the center, making sure it's behind the last white, between the last white and the first black. We're going to take our second color, which is called Galaxy Gazing. We're going to pop it into our yarn feeder in between the last white, the first black, and we're going to do a jogless join. So to do that, we're going to take that yarn and we're going to move it to the other side of that white needle, just like that. Okay, we're going to hold both of those tails. We're going to knit 4 needles. Then you're going to take that tail from both ends, but you're also going to help it go over these dividers and underneath. And then you're going to pull on both ends just to snug up that tension in these first few needles. And then when your project is off your machine, your tension here is going to be equal to your tension around the rest of the barrel. Okay, so we're going to knit 5 rows of this color. Taking you to row 10 on your counter. And we are going to tighten our jogless joints once our project is off the machine. We'll do that together. This is row 9, and I'm going to do one more, and row 10. I see that black divider coming around. I'm going to stop it at the beginning, front of my yarn feeder. I'm going to cut this yarn tail off. We're going to open our latch, pop it between the last white, the first black. Make sure that you have it in that right position, because you still have to finish knitting this one and you have to knit this one. So there you go, drop that down. You're going to take your first color once again and you're going to pop that into your yarn feeder, close the latch, bring it around to the other side of that white needle. You're going to knit 4 needles, 4 or 5. Help that down under the divider, pull on both ends to snug it up. Let that just drop down into the center. We're going to fix that one again when we have it off the machine. We're going to knit 5 rows. So we're going to do 5 rows till we get to row 15. I'll do one more color change with you and then let you know what we're going to do from there. This is 13, 14, and one more is 15. Again, watching for that black divider to come around. We're going to put that in front of our yarn guide just like that. So take a black permanent marker if you haven't done so already and mark that divider. And then you'll always see it when your end of your row is coming around. You're going to pop that into the center. You're going to take your second color again, pop that into your yarn guide, swing it around to the other side of your white needle. You're going to knit 4 or 5 needles. Help that down underneath the little dividers and give it a little tug. Drop it, and we're going to continue. We're going to do 5 rows of this color. Then we're going to keep switching every 5 rows until we get to row 70. Okay, so keep switching every 5 rows till you get to row 70, and I will see you back. For those of you who are new, once your project starts to touch the table, come back and see me in the next clip, and I'll show you what we do with it, and I'll tell you why. All right, keep going, friends. So I just finished row 60, and when your project starts to touch the table, you want to take it and roll it into a donut. Just roll it in over on itself. And what that will do, and you can see all these loose stitches here, we're going to fix those when we get it off. Those are our jogless joins. What that will do is it will keep your tension tighter around your inside rim of your barrel here, which will help to keep those little loops down over those red teeth as we're knitting. And when it touches the table, if you don't do this, what it does is it pushes up and it puts slack on your project here, and you can risk dropping one of those loops off the little red teeth and dropping your row. So that's why you want to always, once it starts to touch the table and you see the slack is coming on your project, you want to roll it into a little donut. And you keep rolling. If you're doing a really long project, you just keep rolling every 10 or 15, 20 rows, however often you feel you need to. Okay, so I'm going to keep rolling that throughout my project till I'm done. Now I'm going to open my feeder. I'm going to switch back to my blue, do my jogless join, fix my tension at the beginning, knit 5 rows, and then I'm going to switch and do the variegated color one more time till it takes me to row 70, and then I'll be back with you. Finishing row 70, there we go. I'm going to cut my tail. I'm going to open my latch. I'm going to pop this in between the last white, the first black. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my solid color one more time. Pop that in there. We're going to do a jogless join. And now we are going to roll up our donut just a little bit more. And we are going to knit until our counter says 140. So you're going to knit the second half of your beanie. So this is the outside half, or it's going to be reversible. So this is 1/2 plus half of our brim. And now we're going to do the other half of the brim and the inside, all in this solid color. Okay, so we're going to knit 70 rows of this solid color, taking us to row 140 on our counter. All right, friends, so keep going till you get row 140. Just finishing up row 140, watching for that black divider to come around, stopping it in front of my yarn feeder. Now what you're going to do is you're going to cut a piece of yarn the length of your circle of your barrel twice. So the length that goes around your barrel twice. Okay, now if you've knit for a long time, you don't need to count, don't need to measure. You just know that you need to take a long piece. Don't forget to shut that, because otherwise your needle will risk breaking it, or you'll break a needle on it. So you just want to make sure it's always shut. So what you're going to do is you're going to put a little bit of tension on this yarn tail, because you still have to knit these 2 needles. Then you're going to rotate your barrel till it comes almost all the way around. Go slowly when you get to this part, because you see as the needles come to this section here, they start to raise. So this next one is gonna pop up just like that. And then this next one will pop up, and then it'll be this turn for this first one. But we don't want that needle to pop up past this divider before we start taking off our stitches, or the needle will push the loop off the red teeth and we'll drop a row. So before you get any further, you want to pick up your loop. Go ahead and pick up the second one. And the next one. And the next one. Make sure you're pulling your yarn out this direction and not up. If you pull it up to take your loop off, you'll risk taking this loop off these red teeth as well. So you want to be very careful. You're going to rotate your barrel. You're not going to go too far, because this next one comes up and then this one will come up and it will push your loop off your needle. Okay. After we finished our project, we turned it around twice. The first time, oops, I got a knot in here now. The first time you went around, it just dropped those needles down, but it wouldn't push these loops off. It's the second time around that it will now push those loops off if you're not careful. Okay, so we're gonna go around until we have all these loops off the little red teeth and onto our needle. All right, so now that we have our project off our machine, we're going to unroll it. You know what? This beanie would look so nice with denim. If you're wearing blue jeans and a heavy sweater under a denim jacket and you're out in the cold, put this beanie on, because it will match beautifully. You're gonna just stretch it widthwise and lengthwise. Soften it up and line up all those rows. Then you're going to turn it inside out, because we have to take care of those jogless joins. Okay, so you're going to put it inside out, just like that. If you're new, I'm going to explain to you why we do a jogless join. Okay, when we knit in the round, in the circular, when that color changes and it goes around and around, it comes down one row lower. So none of your joins are in line. You see this, it's offline. There's that one and that one. There's that one there and that one there. Or you can look at the variegated one. It's there and down there. We want to bring them together so that on the other side of our fabric, of our beanie, our rows are in line with each other and not one above the other. So you're going to take your two strands, just like this, and you're going to gently pull them apart. And when you pull them apart, you will literally see that line come into line with one another, and they will line up beautifully. You're going to then tie a knot. Do not tie this first one tight, because if you tie it really tight, you're going to pull on your work again, and you're going to have it pucker on the other side. You can tighten the second one, okay? Then you're going to cut that off. Find your garbage. Move up to the next one. You're going to grab them, and you're going to gently pull them apart until you see that row come into place. You're going to actually feel it come into place, because there's going to be slack on it, and then all of a sudden it's going to be tight. So you'll get, if this is your first time doing it, don't be scared. You'll get a feel of it, okay? We all started somewhere. Cut that off. Another way to do it, I always show you two ways. Put your fingers over top of the line and below, and push down just to hold your work in place. And then you're going to take both of these together and you're going to lift up. And when you lift up on them, it will go into place. You'll hear it and you'll see it. I'm going to be quiet so you can actually maybe hear it. And then you'll feel it go into place. Then you're going to tie it. So you can do it either of those two ways. I used to love this way more, but the more I do this technique, the more, and I'm going to do it again, the more I like, see, because you can hear it. The more I like the first way, because it just seems more gentle, but really, if you want to hear for it and get the feel for it, this is the way to do it. Because you feel when it literally falls into place. It's so therapeutic. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this to all of my yarn tails. Get my jogless joints all in place. Do it one more way, this way. See, either way, this one's just less harsh. And I'm almost done. Once I have them done, I'll come back and see you. Enjoy the process. Don't stress. Cutting off my last one. Don't forget that one at the very top. And there we go. That's my cast on yarn. I'm going to then go ahead, turn it the other way one more time. We're going to give it a good stretch once again, just where the section where we made our joins. And there you go. We have perfect joins. Our lines are straight. Okay? That is why we do the jogless join. So now what you're going to do is you're going to put your hand inside and you're going to grab the one end, grab the tail with it, and you're going to pull it through. So you have your hat in half. We've got our right side facing us. Wrong sides are together. I went and grabbed my cinch guide and my Pom-kin. I order these from pomkins.com. The link will be in the description box below. I use them on almost every beanie that I make. And here's how it works. This is on a faux fur pom-pom. You just wrap the elastic around. Then you can put this into the hat and remove it very easily for a removable pom-pom. This one I have to wrap around one more time to make it tighter, but that one matches beautifully. But we're going to make a jumbo pom-pom. I'm so excited. I bought this when I was in the States just this week. And it's a jumbo pom-pom maker, and we are going to make a jumbo pom-pom out of this yarn, these two yarns, to go with this beanie. And it's going to be removable. We are going to use our Pom-kin and our cinch guide. That when you order the Pom-kins, the cinch guide comes with it, and it helps you to know how wide of an opening to leave so that you can fit your Pom-kin into there when it's in half like that. Okay, so that's what this does. So, but I'm going to just take this one and I'm going to just smooth out the top here on the inside piece, and I'm going to cut this off so it's not quite so long and in my way. Pop it back onto my needle, and we're going to put our cinch guide into this little space right here, and we're going to cinch this around it. You don't want to cinch it too tight. Sometimes I have made the mistake of cinching it as tight as I can, but you just want to loosely cinch it around your cinch guide. Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to pick up the stitches on the top row, and we're going to just go ahead and reinforce that all the way around. There we go, made it around almost one time, just a little section here left. And again, it's not too tight. It's just nice and snug against this cinch guide, but I never pulled it to its tightest extent. Okay, I'm going to put one little knot in it. Pull that knot down with my finger, with the thumbnail. Take that off, and we're going to go ahead and do the same thing to this other side, making sure that your yarn tail from the inside one stays out. Go ahead and pull this and smooth it out at the top as you do so. I'm going to cut this off so it's not so hard to work with. I'm going to place my cinch guide into that little center. Just like that. I'm going to put my needle back onto my yarn tail, and I'm going to reinforce around that top layer one time. All right, so I've made it around. I'm going to tie a knot. There we go. I can remove my cinch guide. Now what I want to do is I want to put my hand inside my beanie, and I want to just smooth it out. I'm going to even stick my finger up through that hole just so that I can keep those two together. We want to make sure that our ties, this tie and this tie, are on the same side. That if this was over on this side here, then when we tied it, we'd have a yarn strand in between this little that would run this direction, and then it would get in the way of the Pom-kin. So ideally, I want to put this back on my needle. I'm going to bring this around just to line it up with that other one, just there. And after doing so, I'm going to tie a bit of a knot because I don't want it to, if I tie this now with this one, it's going to tighten it in there. So I'm going to tie a knot here to keep it from gathering. Let's see if I can get in there. Pulled it a little too tight because my tail was too long. There we go. And I'm going to pull that down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my inside one and I'm going to pull up on it and I'm going to tie it tight to this outside one. Just like that. And I'll tie a knot, and I always do one more. Okay, there you go. Now you can stick your finger in there again and straighten out your beanie. There you go. Put these both back on your needle. They're both on my needle. I have them tied right there. I'm gonna just go around to the opposite side. I haven't done this on any of my other videos with this beanie, but you know, you live and you learn. The longer you do it, the more you figure out little tips, and I do too. And what I'm gonna do here is then I'm gonna take it down into the inside and I'm gonna grab that inside layer. Just the edge, just like that, and I'm gonna just bring these together. Just like that. And then I'm going to tie off in another knot. So essentially I just put a reinforcement from the center, from the inside piece. I sewed it to the outside piece right there, and it's attached there. Then this beanie is not going to come apart on the inside. It's nice and firmly placed together. Okay, so you might want to back that up and see what I did again, okay? I'm going to put that through both layers, cut it off, and then I'm going to roll up my brim. Oh, that's so beautiful, you guys. This is one side, just like that. And if you want to reverse it, you've got your stripes on the brim. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, to get your stripes evenly like this, I started with a solid color. I did that strategically when we started our hat, so that when I folded up my brim here, I would have 2 rows of my variegated rather than 2 rows of the solid against the solid. So that was a strategic move to start with the solid. So I hope you followed along with that. So there we go. We are going to now grab our pom-pom maker and our 2 colors of yarn, and we're going to make a big, beautiful pom-pom for this beautiful beanie. There we go. I've got this big, beautiful pom-pom maker. Now I should read the back because there's measurements in there. 1/4 inch, 1/3, 1/2, 1/3, 1. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know. On the back, the number is 115, but I didn't notice that was in any, those markings were in any of my other pom-pom makers, but I will feature this one in its own pom-pom video as well. So I won't get into that right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, oh, I guess if I'm guessing, because it's on this side, I'm guessing if you're wrapping, you could just wrap in this section. I don't know. I was going to say you'd get a smaller pom-pom. I have no idea. I'll have to read. But I'm going to put my 2 strands in there, and we're going to begin wrapping. I do have a video on how to use the Clover pom-pom maker. I have a set of 4 that are smaller than this one, of course, and I show you how to use them. And this is used the exact same way, actually. So if you want to refer to that video, you can do that as well, because I don't know that I'm going to do the whole entire pom-pom in this. Well, I'll do most of it, but I'm going to do wrap one side here with you, and then I will give you some instructions, and I won't be as thorough as the video that's designated for the Clover pom-pom maker. So anyways, I'm going to keep wrapping just like this, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until I have filled this in and I'm almost got it straight across there. Almost, not quite. I'll stop once I get to where I need it to be. I will come back with you. Okay, so keep wrapping, 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 and I'll see you in a bit. There we go. I believe that is enough. So you can see that I've wrapped, and it's pretty much straight across. There's still a little bit of a dip in there, but that's how we want it, okay? Then we're going to shut this. I'm going to then cut this little tail off here. Then we are going to do the exact same thing to the other side. We're going to open these two. And we're going to begin wrapping. And I'm going to wrap this one just exactly the same way we wrapped the first side. Okay, so around and around and around and around until you get it filled, just like I did the first half. Go ahead and do that. It's the same process with whatever size of clover maker you're using, okay? This one's a little awkward because it's so big, but it's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna finish. When I get this side filled, I'll see you back. All right, so I have this other side wrapped. I'm gonna close that. Then we're gonna cut this one as well. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut a strand of yarn that would probably go around this piece maybe twice, just like that, if you need to have a general measurement, just like that, okay? Set that aside. We're going to take our scissors and we're going to go into the center of each of these sides and we're going to cut our strands. There's a little groove, you follow right in there and you'll get it right into the center. And you continue around the other side. You guys, this is the first pom-pom I'm making on this. I'm doing it with you. I need new scissors. I said that a while back and I still haven't gotten them, but I will eventually. Then I'm going to take these two strands that I've got. I'm going to put them right in half. So I have my loop over here and I have my loose ends over there. I'm going to take them and I'm going to stick them in the center there. Bring them around. I'm going to take my cut ends, put them through that loop. And then I'm going to just tighten it by pulling on this, okay? When you pull on this, it tightens it in the center. And you get it as tight as you can. And then from there, I take 2 and 2. And I go up, I cross them over, and I bring them back down. This is not how the instructions say, it's how I do it, okay? Because then I know that my knot is really tight and it's holding those fibers in there really good and they're not going to come apart. Now you can take these two and tie a very firm knot, being careful that you don't snap your yarn. Okay, it's tight in there. Once that's done, you go ahead and you open your little latches. This is exciting. And you open this side. It's tough to do, guys. Then you pull this apart. Push it back together. Close it up. Set it aside. Give you a little pom-pom. Oh, your big pom-pom a shake. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm going to then take this and I'm going to just cut off all the little stragglers that are a little bit higher. I'm not going to cut with my other size pom-poms. I trim off quite a bit to make it completely round. I can already tell I just love the looseness of this one, of these fibers. Like fibers, it's just gorgeous. But I'm still going to go around and I'm going to trim it up. If you hold it upside down, you can see where some of the long ones are. And then you just shape them. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this around the whole piece. I'm hardly taking anything off. Except for, of course, there's that long straggler that wants to. Okay, so I'm going to just trim this little puppy up a little bit. This little baby. Oh, you guys, I am in love. I can't even tell you how nice this looks. I'm going to just do a little bit more, clean up my station. I'll see you right back. Okay, I've got it done. And just for reference sake, I'm going to show you. This is a pom-pom I made on my Clover pom-pom makers that I have. I have a set of 4. That is the third one in the size. I have one that's one bigger than this. I think this is 3rd. This might be the 4th one. And it's with the chunky yarn. But look at the difference. Okay, so you're going to take your Pom-kin and you're going to take 2 and 2. You're going to stick that in the middle just like that, and you're going to tie this into the center of your Pom-kin. Just like that. Only one tie is all you need. You can do 2. I think sometimes I do 2. Last video I might have done 2, but you only need 1. Then I'm going to wrap it around twice, going in that direction on that side and the opposite way on this other side. There we go. Push all those wraps into the center, just like that. Then I'm going to take these 2 once again, and I'm going to tie 1 and get these little fibers out of the way, and 2. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take these, you're going to put them on your needle, all 4 if you can, or 2 at a time. I can't do all 4 in this particular needle, 2 at a time. Pop them on your needle. Then you're going to go up through the center of your pom-pom, push it through that little knot. It's hard to do. And out. And once it's up, you can then take your scissors, cut it off the equal height of the other strands, and do the same thing with this second one. Having done that, you're going to take your big, gorgeous, beautiful pom-pom. You're going to get some of those fibers out of the way. You don't have to. And then we're going to bend this in half, just like that. And we're going to pop it into that hole that we made. If you put it upside down and you press it down on the table, it makes it a little bit easier. Once it's through, you're going to help pull it up. And there it sits, just like that. And that does not touch your head. It does not hurt to take it out. You just squeeze it and push it back out. You can change your pom-poms if you like. This is my favorite hat that I've made so far. And I think it's not, I said that when I was thinking that without this pom-pom on it. I was thinking it because I love this yarn so much, but with this pom-pom on there, like this is the cat's meow, like seriously, like look at this is that other feeble little one that now, I don't know, the faux fur one. Let me see here. I haven't tightened that on the elastic, but if you take your faux fur pom-poms and you shake them really good, or you blow dry them for 10 minutes or per 10 seconds, then that helps to make them look nicer too, but that's the difference. There you go, friends. And there it is on the other side. We've gone and done it, friends. We've made a reversible beanie with a removable pom-pom. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for spending time with me. If you are not a part of my Facebook group, I have resumed it again, so please come on over and join. And I'd love to see your makes in that group. So thanks again for being a part of my community of crafters and friends. I appreciate you all. Have a blessed day.